Hi, this is Josh McEwen with Dufferin News with a follow-up on our story from a couple weeks ago on the blood drives taking place here in Dufferin over the next few weeks. Well, today I'm joined by Elaine St. Pierre, Territory Manager for Canadian Blood Services, who is here to provide us with more information on what people can expect when they go to donate at these events, as procedures have changed due to COVID. That being said, Elaine shares with us how easy and convenient it is to still donate, and how well Canadian Blood Services has been managing during the COVID crisis. Elaine also notifies us that the need for blood donations will rise as a result of things opening back up, and how important it is that people will still remember to donate. Well, let's get into it, and big thanks to Elaine for her time, and to you for listening, and I hope you enjoy this segment of Dufferin News. Thanks. Hi, I'm Josh McEwen here with Dufferin News, and today I'm joined by Elaine St. Pierre, who is Territory Manager for the Canadian Blood Services, and we are here to discuss the upcoming blood drives, which are taking place here in Dufferin in August. Hi, Elaine. Thank you so much for your time, and thank you for making this happen.
Josh, thanks for having us today.
Awesome. How are you doing today?
Oh, great. It's a nice busy day and it's beautiful sunny weather, so you can't beat that.
Awesome. So to begin, should we just start with the details around the blood drives? And if so, do you mind sharing them with us?
Absolutely. So, the blood drives are back in Dufferin. We're very happy to say that. We have a couple of events that are coming up both in Shelburne and Orangeville over the next 6 weeks or so. And there's about over 100 appointments that are in total combined with those events. So kicking off next week on Friday, August 11th, we're back in Shelburne at the Center Dufferin Recreation Complex. And we're starting that event at 2:30, which is about an hour earlier than we normally used to come. So that'll event run from 2:30 to 6:30. Then at the end of August, we are in Orangeville at the Best Western on Buena Vista, and we'll be there from 2 to 7. And that's on Monday, August 24th. And then wrapping up mid-September there, we're back in Shelburne again on Friday, September 11th, back at the Center Dufferin Recreation Complex there again from 2:30 to 6:30.
Awesome. So two events where you go longer too in Shelburne. So that's great.
Exactly. So we have a bit of a reduced capacity to collect, which we can certainly explain later. So it's best to, we've got a lot of dedicated donors there in that Shelburne and area and the surrounding communities. So we want to maybe tap into that and make sure that we can get those events filled.
That's great to hear. So I know you guys had one in July. Do you mind me asking how that one went?
Oh, it went fabulous. We were in Orangeville at the Best Western. Now, this was our first event since February, actually. And so we're really happy that they were able to welcome us back, and we had a nice, busy event. Our goal for that event was to actually collect 96 blood donations, and we collected 97. So you can't beat that. We got one for good measure.
Awesome. And just, I want to make sure I get this beforehand, but to book an appointment, we go on blood.ca or call 1-888-2-DONATE, right? That's to book an appointment?
Correct. We also have a really cool app for your smartphone. It's called Give Blood. You can download that app. There's eligibility information that you would find on our website as well. And you can book an appointment right there from your phone.
Awesome. That's great to know. Thank you. So what can people expect when they go to donate during these events?
Well, if you donated before, the one thing that you'll probably notice more than anything is that we're super spread out. We do have those physical distancing measures in place, and that's not only for the safety of our donors, but our staff and volunteers as well. So you'll see that it's a lot more lonely, at refreshments, if you will. But the one thing that we do, what the different changes are in terms of coming to one of our donation events, people may very much be used to just seeing the truck parked in the parking lot and having that cue them as the reminder that the blood donation event is taking place, and they usually just walk in. And that's one of the things that had to change because of the pandemic. So we are only accepting people with appointments at this time. So with all those wonderful options that you mentioned there, both online, through the app, calling us, there's lots of opportunities to book that appointment, even if it's the day of. So as long as there's an open appointment there, you can book that, and then we'll know you're coming, and we'll be able to welcome you into the clinic.
Oh, wow. You can book the day of? That's amazing.
Absolutely.
That's great. That's super convenient. So
I think one of the other biggest changes, and for us here in Dufferin, we've been doing this for quite some time. We've all been wearing masks. in any of the indoor spaces, in any retail environment. At Canadian Blood Services, we've been doing that now for quite some time as well. So we're very much used to it, I think, now in Dufferin. So of course, masks are required. And so because of that, the other big change, I guess, that I would just advise people of, we want to make sure that you're prepared for that donation. And while we may have been used to offering you, some water or a salty snack to enjoy throughout the process, we want you to come prepared for that blood donation now, because once you have that mask on inside, we don't want you taking it down to eat or drink. So we want to make sure that you haven't yourself, come with a full tummy, having had lots of water that day, and make sure you have a salty snack before you donate as well, before you come to the event.
Awesome, awesome. That's good to know. So that's all they should have to bring with them when they go to donate?
Yeah, if you've been donating before, you can have your donor card with you. If you don't have your card, you can certainly have it on the app as well. The app has like a digital donor card that is proof of you being a blood donor. If you've never donated before, what you are going to need is a piece of ID, whether it be a driver's license, health card, something like that. And we're going to create a barcode for you to sort of launch the questionnaire process inside the donation event. And that way, after you donate for the first time, you'll get your blood donor card in the mail.
Awesome, awesome. So, and I think you kind of alluded to this already, but what is the easiest way for someone to find out if they are eligible to donate? Through the app or
So
through
if
the
you
website?
do go to our website, blood.ca, there is a great eligibility quiz there. And it's really just clicking through a lot of basic information that, some of our most basic requirements. Over and above that, there's actually a really great section called the ABCs of Eligibility. And that's sort of an alphabetical listing of sort of the most commonly, asked questions or commonly referred to criteria that we screen for. So for example, if you're diabetic, there's a section there on diabetes. Maybe you're pregnant. There's a section there on pregnancy and even breastfeeding. So there's lots of health criteria there that you'll want to review before you find out if you're eligible to donate. Over and above that, if you have any questions, you can certainly always give us a call. We do have nursing staff. They're 24/7, so you can call us day or night, and we'll be having somebody able to speak to you to review your own personal health history to find out if you're eligible.
Awesome. That's great. That makes it super convenient. Awesome. So I'm curious, are blood donations needed more at this time of year more than other times?
Well, summer is normally the most challenging time of year for us because people have that change up of routine. When kids are out of school, they go on vacation, they're away, there's lots of travel, that whole sort of scenario. Now, compounded with COVID and this sort of situation, it's been summer since March with the changing routines, with the kids home, mom and dad, maybe even different work schedules. So it has been very challenging for us. And while this is normally the most challenging time, I think the problem for us is that the need for blood is now risen to the pre-pandemic levels. So that's a bit of a challenge for us in making sure that we have the ability to collect the blood that we need for those hospital patients.
Oh, so am I correct in assuming that demand for blood went down sort of during the early stages of the pandemic and now it's starting to rise?
It did. So when you think about once everybody was locked down, so there's less traffic, so less people on the road, maybe less potential for car accidents. And if you remember, the hospitals really shut themselves down in terms of they postponed all elective surgeries and even some, cancer treatments were postponed. So the need did drop. That being said, we had certainly less number of people coming out. With that initial, situation when the pandemic hit, there was that certain, that wave of uncertainty that you might experience before people sort of figured out that, the need is still there, the need doesn't stop. So we're beneficial that we went into the pandemic with a nice strong inventory across the country. So while the, collections were less, the demand sort of matched that. So we're okay.
That's good. I'm glad to hear that, at least that it wasn't unbalanced.
That's right.
Awesome. Awesome. So, I think you've kind of alluded to this as well, but will things opening back up result in more need for blood donations and why?
Yeah, that's definitely the case we're in right now. So the need has risen to those pre-pandemic levels. So as the hospitals are resuming to clear that backlog of elective surgeries and procedures that were postponed because of COVID-19, then demand is certainly back to what it normally was. That being said, we have additional constraints onto how much blood we can collect at any given day because of physical distancing measures that we've had to put into place and all of our enhanced wellness and screening as well. So we can collect less blood at a time, but yet the demand is there. So what I guess I want to impart upon everybody is to just know that, every single appointment needs to be filled when we do come to town.
Awesome. That is good to know, because that is important to stress, because there are people that were it just would kind of go back of mind during all of this, so it's important to
For
emphasize.
sure.
So I think you kind of mentioned this already, but it doesn't sound like there was. But was there ever a concern that inventory may run out during the crisis?
No, we've had some wonderfully dedicated, committed donors throughout the pandemic that, I think it's the Canadian thing that kind of comes out in us, that wanting to help, and certainly, there's always going to be times like this when you're looking for, what can I do to assist? For some people it might be, making masks. Some people might be donating food or buying, maybe, making donations towards the pandemic relief. So blood donation can also give you that, that feeling of altruism and that you're really contributing and giving back to society. So we have, hundreds, and thousands of blood donors across the country that, really didn't skip a beat, and they continued to support us during this effort. So never really was that risk, but of course we're always concerned when, venues have to close and potentially, cancel our events and things like that. So definitely a concern, just for the initial couple days, I would say, but we were able to react very quickly, put additional measures into place, certainly making it safe for everybody to come out, and it was really great to see.
Awesome. So how were people still donating during the phase 1 and 2 of the crisis? Because, like you said, the events weren't taking place.
So, and that wasn't the case for every region. For example, while some events did get canceled in Dufferin, there were many other parts of the province and across the country that were still able to host events for us, which is fantastic. So what we did in some of those communities where we couldn't, we do have some permanent donation centers. Maybe the closest ones here to Dufferin might be in Guelph or Mississauga, for example, that are, a bricks and mortar building of our own that we operate, 5-6 days a week even. And so we had those regular, those regular hours and those regular events running. It's an environment that we get to control. So we were able to open them up on extra days, lengthen our days, bring in extra staff to try and boost the inventory through those collection centers that are fixed.
Wow, that's great. You guys really did adapt quickly. That's awesome.
That's what we do.
Awesome. Well, that's everything I have for my questions. Is there anything you'd like to say to the people of Dufferin before we wrap it up?
Well, I just want to thank them for being so committed over the years. It's always been a great resource for us to have a monthly event here in Orangeville at the Best Western, and then we come 4 times a year to Shelburne as well. Certainly neighboring communities like Caledon also host events, and if you're on the road, there's those permanent centers out there. So I just want everybody to know that we really thank you for coming out, and let's get those appointments filled for the next 6 weeks here in Dufferin.
Awesome. Great. Well, what's the best way to get in touch with Canadian Blood Services? Through social media and through the channels we mentioned earlier?
So best thing you could do, go online, blood.ca. In addition to all the eligibility information and the ability to book your appointment, there's a wonderful section there about COVID, and in terms of all the questions and answers that you might have as it relates to blood donation. So great spot to check everything out there. And yeah, definitely you can follow us on social media at Canada's Lifeline on Twitter and Facebook and Instagram. And we would love to see, post those self-donation, those selfies. We'd love to see you take a picture and let us know where you donated and, maybe even why. It might just inspire someone else to donate.
100%. That's a great idea. Awesome. Well, thank you so much for your time, Elaine. I appreciate it.
Wonderful to have. Thanks very much.
Thanks. So you've gotten the message. Blood is needed, and there's plenty of opportunity to donate if you're eligible, which you can check quite easily through the website blood.ca. As Elaine said, there are 3 events in the upcoming weeks, 2 in Shelburne and 1 in Orangeville. The first one takes place in Shelburne on August 14th at the Center Dufferin Recreation Complex from 2:30 p.m. to 6:30 p.m. The next one takes place in Orangeville at the Best Western on Monday, August 24th from 2 p.m. to 7 p.m. The third one is back in Shelburne at the Center Dufferin Recreation Complex on Friday, September the 11th from 2:30 p.m. to 6:30 p.m. To donate, one must book an appointment either by phoning 188-2DONATE, going through the website blood.ca, or downloading the Give Blood app on your mobile device and going through there. You can even book your appointment the day of the drive, so it's super easy and convenient. Big thanks to Elaine for her time, and for the info, we're grateful for the insights. And of course, thank you for listening. And thank you even more if you're eligible to donate, and do so. Anyways, I'm Josh McCune with Dufferin News, and until next time, have a great one. Thanks.